It's the Albanese and Joe podcast. Now, here's Nick Albanese and Joe Petrucci.
Hi.
What's up?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
All right. So we're here, back for another one.
Another one. It feels like we were just here.
I know. It keeps going.
So
But
we're really pumping these out.
Right.
So
We're pumping, not pumping iron, but
pumping, I know it's pumping the airwaves.
yeah.
It's even the airwaves now, and it's the internet. Pumping the World Wide Web.
Sure. I'll go with that.
So today I was thinking about talking about something because I woke up this morning and
That's always a good thing.
yeah,
When you wake
it's-
up.
you wake up, it's a good day. And I saw a reel of Don Rickles. Don Rickles. I always want to call him Don Rickles.
Because you think wrinkles because he's older too. Well,
Yeah.
now he's no longer with us. But
He has no wrinkles anymore.
no. But I used to say Don wrinkles too.
Wrinkles. Don Rickles. And Sinatra.
Let's talk about all the ways you can say his last name.
Don Dimples. Don Nipples. It was him and Sinatra. And he used to bust Sinatra up all the time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And
the rap.
Yeah, it was just them two in a video, and I saw it, and I made a I usually never comment on videos, like outside of people I know, like you know what I mean, like news outlets and stuff, because there's so many crazy people out there.
Yeah,
you can write something.
They'll attack you.
Yeah, and they attack you.
And they'll find your profile pic.
Yeah, and
They make up stuff like one time they called me bald. They said,
I know.
"Shut up, Baldy."
I know.
Where'd they get that from?
I don't know. I see a couple of strings. What the heck?
No, but they, they'll go right on your profile. Anyway,
So, but now when I commented something like the celebrities of that day, the celebrities of today don't even compare to the celebrities of that day. Just for like the way they were.
they get a lot of some young people
Talented, they had class, they were funny. It's just different.
It was
right?
a different style, yeah. It's a whole different, yeah.
Different era, right?
Yeah, that's what I should have said. Yeah, different era.
Yeah, just like everything like that. It's just everything that's like
So, did anybody get upset with your comment? Or?
no one ever.
Maybe it's just older people that are viewing it, so young kids aren't even looking at it.
They're not even looking at it.
But yeah, no, I actually got to catch him when he was near the end. He was at the casino.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yep, he was
Is
sitting.
that at the Twin River?
Yep, he was sitting down. He did the whole act sitting down, and they had curtains like like at a hospital, like the curtains that would be in, and in between takes, he kept taking breaks. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
He'd do it for like 20 minutes, then they take a break and the curtains would close. So it was something weird going on. Like he didn't leave the stage, but he was doing something. I don't know what was going on, but it was weird. It was a little not awkward, but it was because he was old, so something was going on.
That's weird.
But it was funny that he still did it in between takes like that.
So an hour show became 2 hours.
And it was weird too when we were watching it when the curtains did close for a second. So they weren't normal curtains. You know what I'm talking about, like at the
Like the hospital.
yeah. They were literally.
It was just like that section of the stage.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
It was weird. Yeah,
Man.
and then you could see the crew and people would come out. So I was almost thinking, like, does he have one of those bag closets?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And they had to change. I don't know what it was, but anyway.
Why don't they just like get the child and they're spocking them up again? All right, go ahead.
But they
You're on again. Go.
but you have to give him credit.
But he didn't stand up. He was sitting the whole act.
Sitting the whole act, but he's so great that imagine pulling that off. That it's still fun. It's still hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
He was still. That's what I'm saying. Even in that condition, in his weakened condition, it's still like funnier than anything you see. But anything that you normally see. Well, at least I like.
I feel bad because like what's going through his head because you know what I mean when he was younger back in the 60s 70s when he was really big, he worked the stage. Right, he'd go back and forth, and he'd pick somebody out. Hey,
he did. He actually did do that. Someone came up on the stage, and he talked to him, but he was sitting down, and it was still just as funny. He brought the person up, and the funny thing is, one of the kids that came up was actually happened to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. All right.
So he goes, "What do you do?" He goes, "I'm a stand-up comedian." He's like, he did that face, and it was pretty funny. But on the monitors when they would take the breaks, they were showing clips from like throughout the years, like he was on David Letterman and all those shows. And it was weird too because when I was watching it, I remember watching those actual episodes, so it made me feel old too. Because like David Letterman came on, and I went, "Oh, I remember watching that episode of David Letterman."
Yeah.
Then I saw him as SNL. I said, "I remember when he was on SNL. Like I was like 14 or something." Then they showed when he did a president when they went up to the remember the in honor of the president Reagan. It was President Reagan. He went up on stage. I forgot what it was for, but I was weird looking at it.
Because you remember all those moments.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, dude. And I remember him. Actually, I don't remember watching it, but I remember watching clips afterwards. So when I got older, he was on Johnny Carson a lot.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh man, he was hilarious. I even think he hosted a couple of times for Johnny Carson.
Probably,
right?
Because I'm not sure about that, but probably. Yeah. I know I looked up on YouTube. I'll watch a lot of times. It'll come up on my timeline too. A lot of times when he was with, right on the Tonight Show.
And he's with Sinatra. It was always funny.
Yeah. He always tells stories.
Great stories with Sinatra.
Like he makes them like real shady, like he was in the mafia.
Yeah.
He could get killed in it.
He starts saying all these Italian names, and it's so funny.
No, it was good.
And another guy that was hilarious was always on Carson. Johnny Carson was Rodney. Rodney Dangerfield. Oh man, you watch those clips. He was like, there's just something about that era of those guys.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
I keep going back to YouTube, but on YouTube there's some stuff that I caught that I don't even remember seeing. It was him doing like comedy skits, Rodney, instead of doing his normal stand up. Mm-hmm. And it was cool. Like there's one thing they did with Bill Murray. Bill Murray was like the therapist, and he's talking to.
Was he Dr. Benny Moonbats?
That's right, but I don't think it was Dr. I think that was actual as his like do physicals and stuff. He was and this one he was like a therapist. Bill
like
Murray.
My wife, she likes to have sex in hotel rooms. How do I know she calls me from there? Stuff like that.
That's great. Those one-liners.
Oh man, he was the best at that. He was definitely the best at the one-liners.
Yeah. It was a different time.
And I know earlier we was talking about even like old movies, like from like even later than that, like in the 80s and stuff. Surprisingly, my kids, because I'm big into the 80s and I love the music, I love the movies. So naturally, my kids have been growing up this whole time with me showing them these 80s movies. Always have the 80s music in my car till this day. Now they have the AirPods. So my daughter, I bring her to soccer practice. She puts them on, so she doesn't have to hear the radio anymore. She hears her music.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If you do the '80s, because it sounds like they're actually interested in listening to it.
Yeah.
I would say because obviously you want your kid to listen to stuff that you listen to.
Yeah.
But you don't want to force it on them. Like, what I mean?
No, I think it was naturally to them.
So if they actually enjoy it, that's actually cool. Like I wouldn't do that if your kid's like, why are we listening to this? But if your kid's actually genuinely interested in listening to it,
it's funny because my oldest, he was in elementary school. They're having some kind of event, and the teachers were probably Gen X teachers, and they're playing a lot of 80s stuff.
Yeah.
And he knew the songs, and like the teachers were like, "How do you know all these songs?" Like he's a little kid. Funny. And he knows all these songs, and like, that's my dad listens to that music. And like my youngest Louis, dude, for the longest time, his favorite song was "Careless Whisper" by Wham.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was like his favorite song.
George Michael Lynn.
Yeah. Right now his favorite song is "Die with a Smile." You know that one?
But that's an older song?
No, it's brand new.
Wow.
"Die with a Smile." It's Bruno Mars and Gaga.
Oh, okay. I'm actually not familiar with a lot of the newest songs.
Yeah. Well,
how old is that?
Just came out like this past year.
So you're getting hip with the kids playing.
Yeah, I like some of the new stuff. Even I listen to a lot of 80s and but I know a lot of the new stuff because of them.
Yeah. I like a lot of that. I like some new stuff, but I don't know it by like the name of the artist. I'm really out of touch with who they are.
You know the song.
Yeah. Like I hear, I go, oh, that's a cool song.
Yeah.
But I don't follow that. Like how like an old song will come on from the 80s and you're singing it like word for word.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen.
I know, it's like your mind never forgets those lyrics.
Yeah.
And the other, like a couple weeks ago when my kids were over, we did a movie night and we watched Twins.
Oh, that's cool.
Classic, 80s classic movie. Yep. DeVito and Schwarzenegger, right? And they all three of them really enjoyed it. Like,
That's cool.
I was like, I wonder how they're going to take this. And the movie aged well. I think it's really.
I haven't seen that in a long time,
Yeah.
but I remember actually going to the theater and seeing that.
Oh, sweet. When
Someone
he
goes-
sits down, he goes, I'm your twin brother, Julius. He goes, oh yeah. The minute you sat down, I thought I was looking in a mirror.
Yeah, that was like a
They
classic.
were just like great lines like that. They cracked up through the whole movie. They really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I remember that time. That was like the big thing about it. It was funny. The fact that, oh my God, they're twins. That was like what they really wrote.
Yeah. For a while, I heard that for a long time, they wanted to make a sequel. And it was going to be called Triplets. And they realized that they had one more brother. And it was going to be Eddie Murphy. I think that would have been great.
That's hilarious.
But I don't know. I think it's been too long now, maybe. I don't know.
Did you see, what is he doing now, Danny DeVito? Is he on like is it Jersey Mike's? I see him like a...
Oh, yeah. He does the Jersey Mike commercials.
That's right.
And he was doing another one, too, for a cell phone? Cricket? Maybe? No, I don't...
I can't remember the
I
name.
seen him on something else, but I know he's doing Jersey Mike's.
But I was going to say I think a lot of the kids, he was being reintroduced to kids. There was a lot of jokes online and stuff with Danny DeVito.
Oh, really?
It was actually appealing. I don't know if it's old now, but to me it seems like, if I say it would happen like 5 years ago, to a kid that's like, a million years ago. So they're like, oh, he's not. But I remember I used to like him in Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They had him like off the wall.
That was a big show.
They had him off the wall on there. He was really fun. It was a lot different from anything. I remember him from like Taxi days when he did Taxi.
Yeah, Taxi was great. Yeah.
But it was funny though.
My son knows him from my youngest.
Hey,
from Matilda. Did you see Matilda? He played the dad.
Oh, cool.
And he actually, I don't know if he wrote it, but he directed that movie and he was in it.
Now, you know what's funny? I was surprised you didn't mention it. You actually met him and drove Danny DeVito around.
Yeah. I met him back in my limo days.
Yeah.
I spent like many hours with him one day, and then the next day, it was like 2 days in a row.
You said his daughter was going to...
Yeah, both his daughters were going to Brown University, and I was still doing limo, and I guess they couldn't they needed help moving stuff. So...
You were a mover too?
Yeah, I was a mover that day too, because for 2 days, because I went down with a Suburban truck, and I was picking up DeVito, and he's with Real Perlman at the time. I don't know if you know, they're divorced, I think.
Oh.
But I think they still like get along. They're just not married anymore.
Oh.
And I went down to the Westin Hotel, and he comes walking out, and she comes walking out, and all the guys at the hotel were bringing all these boxes, put them in the truck. I had no idea what we were doing. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, we're going to go to this first address. It's a dorm room.
Now, did you
up in Brown University.
Did you know you were going for Danny?
Yeah, I saw it on the paperwork.
Oh, so you were like...
So I was excited.
Oh, cool.
I was really excited.
Did you have to try to act like he wasn't like a...
No, it's like oh,
starry-eyed? Was you starry-eyed?
Yeah, I didn't like drool over him, but I was like, oh, great to meet you. And he's like, oh,
I mean, it must have been cool to see
But he
him.
was very down to earth. He was very down to earth. And we go up to Brown, and we're just, there I am with DeVito, Real Perlman, the two daughters, and they had a son. I think his name was Jake or Jack. And he was younger than them, like a high school kid. And it was a move-in weekend at Brown University for parents to help their kids move in.
Yeah.
And there I am going up the stairs into this dorm room with the DeVitos. It was very surreal. And there was one father, dude, there. He looked like Larry David. But it wasn't Larry David. It just looked like him. So this is how...
Did you say that to him?
Yeah. I said, Danny, look at that guy over there. It looks like Larry David. He looks over and goes, oh, yeah. And I go, you look like Danny DeVito. He goes, yeah, you look like Nick, this guy I used to know. So it was playful like that. It was really cool. And I brought Real Perlman to the mall after that, walked around with her at the mall. I looked like a security guard with her. And
I remember you saying that, wasn't you working on, you actually mentioned a script or something to him?
no, I just told him I was acting and kind of, was I doing stand-up yet then?
Oh.
I don't think I was doing stand-up yet, but I'll save that story for another podcast.
Because I remember waiting for, wasn't that a short you did?
Yeah, I wrote after I met him. That inspired me. I wrote like a TV pilot called Me and the DeVitos.
I thought you were waiting for the...
Oh, I did. Oh, and I did that little...
That's what I remember.
I did like a video documentary thing, waiting for DeVito.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing. That was actually good.
Know what I showed that on? MySpace. That's how long ago it was. I showed that on MySpace.
You should log on to your old account.
I lost it all, dude. I don't know where all those videos are.
I know. That happened to... I remember at one
Even
point,
the physical videos, I don't know where they are.
At one point, I did go on to MySpace when it was years after, but it still wasn't that long, and I found like scattered pictures, and it wasn't quite there because they did the whole thing
Yeah,
over.
it's all music now, right? It's a music site.
And it was done over completely, but somehow it came up, and I was like, "What?" And I hurried up and I downloaded them, but there was a lot of stuff missing. But
Yeah.
anyway,
and then that was really cool to hang with DeVito and his family. And then I'm at home that night, and my boss calls me and goes, "Hey, DeVito wants you back tomorrow, and we need to get a van though." And there was nowhere to find a rental van because he had to get furniture for the other daughter. So
this is good because we're hearing a little bit of his personal life. It's old though.
Yeah.
It's like how long ago?
This is back to 2004.
So how old was his daughter? She's probably married.
Probably, yeah.
But tell him
she's been in a couple of shows and stuff. I've seen her in shows. Her name's Lucy, and Lucy DeVito, and so they couldn't find a van anywhere. So I called up a guy I knew that had a trucking company. I knew he had this one.
You knew a guy.
I knew
Did you
a
tell
guy.
him? I got a guy.
I told my boss I'm gonna help you out.
I got a guy.
And he had a white van on the property of his truck company. And I called him up.
Down there, get the van. You see it over there in the alley.
Yeah, go in there.
Take a left, right over there.
And that's Goodfellas, if you don't know. Yeah, go in there, right in there.
For a coat.
Go get a coat, yeah.
For a coat.
And she knew she was going to get killed.
Yeah, she's like, I'm all set. Thank you. All right.
So we got the van, and I told the guy, I said at the time, hey, he's desperate. You can charge my boss anything you want for this van.
That's nice.
So I don't know what he charged them.
So you're working.
I got the van, went to Pier 1. Remember that furniture store?
Of course.
We picked up stuff at Pier 1, and we went to the second.
Pier 1 Imports.
Yeah, we went to the second daughter's dorm, and I had to bring a dude with me. My boss says, pick anybody. Or I don't know if it was my boss or it was the manager there. He goes, pick somebody to go with you to help you with the furniture. So I picked this one driver, Val Novak. He's from Ukraine.
That's hilarious.
He was the funniest guy.
That sounds like a joke within itself.
Oh, he was a funny bastard. And I'll tell you something about him in a second. So me and him moved all the furniture in. And it was funny. For a few days, DeVito would call my phone. I'd be, hey, Nick, it's Danny. I was like, yeah, I know.
You must have felt like...
Yeah, he goes, where can I get like a screw or something, like a hardware store? And I would tell him where to go.
That's funny.
It's funny. Like 10 o'clock at night, he's calling me, asking me where to get stuff.
So you were like his assistant. Like
Yeah. At least I got to tell him and say, hey, listen, I really enjoy your work.
Do you want 2 sugars? Can I stir that up for you, Nick? No.
And I said, I really enjoy your work, and I have very fond memories of actually watching TV with my father and watching you on Taxi.
You said that?
Yeah, and
did you have a little tear come down your eye?
Yeah, it's like drama. The music was playing.
Splash some
it was
water.
very dramatic. And he's like, hey, that's great. And he's like, great. He really appreciated it.
Oh,
He's
nice.
a real down to earth guy. So, but Val Novak, the driver, dude. Want to hear a funny story about him? He was driving to Boston, and then for years they were doing the Big Dig in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that construction job, the tunnel, the Big Dig?
The Big Dig.
And he's driving a client, and the lady's like, what's all this traffic? He's going, it's the Big Dick. And she's like, what? Excuse me? She goes, yeah, the Big Dick. And he's trying to say the Big Dig. And she called and complained to the office. And when they found out, they started laughing. When they found out that he was trying to say the Big Dig.
The Big Dig.
And his accent was so bad. He was saying the Big.
Hilarious.
Oh, man. I just found that funny. I don't
No,
know.
it is. No, I mean, even though I don't know the guy, that's still funny, though.
Because my father and my mother, they have accents, so I grew up with that.
The Big Dick, that's like...
They would say words different, like wrong, and it's funny.
Yeah, you say, we go to Disney someday.
Yeah, my father we go to Disney Sunday. Sunday? Like, it's like 2 days away. And my brother he said, someday.
Yeah.
Not Sunday.
See, I remember your stand-up.
Yeah, I remember. I might do that joke tonight.
Oh, tonight? Oh, that's telling what's going on.
I'm doing
It'll be
they'll be far gone the time
far
they hear
gone,
this.
and by then, but
yeah, I'm actually going back into stand-up. I think I mentioned another episode. And tonight is the night I'm hosting a show.
yeah.
And it's John Parada's in it, Rockin' Joe, and
All funny comedian,
the
hilarious
Prince of Mystery.
Speaking
Is
of
it the
Don-
Man of Mystery or Prince of Mystery? The Prince of Mystery.
Speaking of Don Rickles, that's kind of on the idea of
Oh yeah, John
Parada.
John Parada is the Rhode Island.
He roasts. He's incredible at
Oh yeah.
calling people in the audience.
And it's amazing to me how he remembers. I did a show with him, dude, with 100 people in the crowd, and he busted on like few of them, and he kept going around the whole room.
Yeah.
But he always remembered their name and what he said about them.
So does he have like a photographic memory?
I don't know. I don't know because he doesn't. I don't think he writes anything down.
That's amazing. That's
and to remember every single one and go back and put that joke with that joke.
Did you ever say, this happens to me instantly. Someone will go, hi, my name's, Tony. How you doing, Tony? I go, hey, Tony, how to meet you? And I literally turn my hand and go, what the hell is this name? Right? Does that happen?
What was his name? Yeah, I gotta hear a name a few times. I remember faces.
Like literally the second they say it, it doesn't
I seen a face once 20 years ago. If I see him now, I'll remember it.
Yeah, faces are easy, yeah.
But
that's
a
like
name,
the directions instead of giving street names.
Yeah.
You take a turn at Burger King and take a left, yeah. But definitely faces I remember also too.
Yeah.
Even if they're older. Did you ever see someone from the past and then you look at them but they're older now? It could be like 30 years. And you're like, and they look like, you sound like a weirdo because you go, do we go to...
Do I know you from somewhere?
Yeah, and they don't... People usually don't like that.
They're like, well, you hang around truck stops. No, but Parada's really like... no, I was thinking about that today of Parada, how I was watching episode of Joe Rogan, another fellow podcaster.
I like the Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. And one time, here's a fun fact. I don't know what episode, what year it was, but Joe Rogan mentioned John Parada on his podcast. Do you know that?
I think I remember hearing something about that, but how did he? Was it because he was from Rhode Island, right?
No, he's a Boston comic years ago.
Oh, you did tell me this
decades ago. Before anybody knew who Joe Rogan was, he was doing stand up in Boston, and he would come down to Providence and try to get into gigs. So he knew John. And he knew John was the guy. Even back then, John was running a lot of shows.
Wow.
And that's how long John's been doing it.
Did he ever? I wonder if John actually tried to have a contact.
I don't know. I would definitely. I would have tried to contact him to get on there and talk about comedy from New England. Because he talks about all different
John's
things.
Listening.
John Parada, you listening?
We know that
Contact
Joe Rogan won't be listening, but John might be.
There's a good chance John might be. Might. The key word, might be.
Yeah, that's right. I said he will. Well, the only way if we
But he did mention, I remember hearing it. Like, oh my God, Joe Rogan's mentioned John Parada.
Did you ever talk to it about John about that he mentioned?
I don't know if I ever did. I mentioned it to him tonight.
Maybe he doesn't even know.
No, I think he knew.
That would be funny if we should tag...
Because even Bill Burr is from Boston, and John knows him pretty well. I think that's when that's when he taught. Maybe Bill Burr was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Bill Burr, you can,
and that's when they talked about it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think
Bill Burr.
If I remember right.
Again, I'm going back to YouTube.
Yeah.
Bill Burr, you can go and look at a video, and he's walking through Boston and talking, like joking around about everything.
Yeah.
I think it was Boston. Anyway, he was local. One of those areas, but
yeah, I just saw one of him walking in Rhode Island.
That's what I think.
And he was talking about the seagull.
All right,
that's seagull.
So where was that? Where was that in?
I think he was up in.
Was it Newport?
Newport.
All right, that's.
He was doing the Jane Pickett Theater.
All right, then that's it. Then.
Yeah, I saw that just the other day.
Yeah, I happened to come across same algorithms.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was gonna be funnier. Actually,
really? I thought it wasn't bad.
It wasn't like hilarious.
No,
because he's hilarious.
Because it seemed like
I was expecting it to be really like his level.
Yeah, but I think it was just like it seemed like
he's another guy that's amazing.
Yeah, I like his humor.
Like to me, the guys that can keep changing their act and always have a special with new material. That's hard work.
I was surprised to see him on. He actually was on like the Disney. They had like the Star Wars. He acted in there.
Oh yeah, he was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he was one of the characters.
He's done some acting.
It seemed funny to see him.
Did you see Old Dads?
Yep, I like that. Yeah, Old Dads was good.
Well, we're getting close on time.
Oh yeah, we could talk about. So we found out movies is a strong part because not strong for anybody else, but strong for
us. Yeah.
For our interests. We almost could keep going.
Maybe on the next one we'll continue.
All right, yeah.
Because I gotta get ready for the show tonight.
Right, and today is going to be. I'm excited for me.
What are you doing?
I'm making beef stroganoff.
Oh, what is that?
It's not. There was an old joke, beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
And that was, what do you call a cow in a field masturbating? Beef stroganoff. But that's not what this is. This is egg noodles.
Yeah. Oh, so this is a real thing, not a joke. All right.
Egg noodles.
Yeah.
Braised beef.
Yeah.
Egg beef. Pulled pork, whatever you want there. Brown gravy. You put it all in there, mix it up. Then you can have some sour cream on it.
Yeah.
It's very nutritional.
All right. I know what we continue in the next one. We'll talk about food and
health.
And health. How about that? Want to do that?
All right, that'll be the next one.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Hey, show's over. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get out of here.